Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ron with CO2 Free. So today I have been given a 2021 Chevy Bolt to test drive for the weekend. I wanted to give my immediate reaction upon seeing the vehicle and sitting in it. Without being too rude or mean to Chevy, first let me say the Chevy Bolt is as ugly as sin. Yes, I said that. It is very ugly. And also, when getting in the vehicle, it feels very cheaply made. The seats feel very fake leathery, if that's a word, and the doors are super lightweight and sound like a tin can when I shut them. The interior is leaving something to be desired for sure, but maybe it's all up from here. We'll find out together as I do a weekend review of the Chevy Bolt. So stay tuned. Okay, so as you can see, the interior is not what I would call very refined. So my first impression is, what the crap is this? I'm not sure what Chevy was trying to do here, but I do not like it. This is, again, this is not going to be a full review. This is just going to be my initial impression. So I will explain what all this is at a later point. I just want to get in the vehicle and see how user-friendly is it from the jump. Steering wheel feels good. I think I know how to put it in drive or reverse. And this vehicle was loaned to me by Lakeside Chevrolet in Rockwall. It's a personal driver of one of the persons that operates it. So you may see some clutter. This is not your standard review vehicle, obviously. So the shifter looks similar to the Prius, at least the one I used to have. I'm guessing it operates somewhat the same. You have to move it over. Looks like I'm in reverse now. Looks like it says I'm going to be burning 3 or 4 kilowatts. I'm not really sure what that means right now, but I'm anxious to learn as we go. We have a large screen here. I mean, as a point of reference, you can see my hand. That's actually a really big screen, not as big as a Tesla's, but really big. The AC and heat are easy to control. When I got in, it was kind of cold, so I turned it up. I like the fact that it was pretty user intuitive what to do, and obviously I turned it down. So we're in reverse. Looks like we have a sport mode we can play with later. I'm looking forward to doing that. So yeah, let's see. Oh, I've heard stories about this camera. Let's see what this camera can do. Or this, maybe, I don't know if this one's equipped with it or not, but it's supposed to have a camera as a backup. Oh, I guess it does not.
So one of the main things I wanted to find out about the Bolt would be, what is it like to charge on the road? Coming from a Tesla Model 3 where the supercharging network is one of the strong suits of Tesla, I was very curious to see just how would the Bolt hold up on a road trip. And so I used a couple of different apps to locate chargers in my area. And the first one I found was an EVgo charger at my local Walgreens. And as you will see from this video, it did not go very well. All right, so we're going to try this fast charging network, and whoops, out of order. And I thought to myself, man, what if I was on a road trip and I had to have this fast charger? I'd be out of luck. I don't know what I would do. Well, I guess I could use this level 2 charger, which would be obviously charging extremely slow, but it would be something. So I used the EVgo app. It said, yes, it's available. Swipe to start. Guess what? Didn't work. Just to make sure that I was doing it right, I called the customer service line, and customer service walked me through it, and still to no avail, no charging. So I was 0 for 1 on trying to charge my Bolt in my local hometown, and it did not make me feel very confident about taking a road trip with the Chevy Bolt. So after striking out at my local Walgreens EVgo charger, I drove about 10 miles to a Walmart where they had several Electrify America superchargers. I was excited to try these out because through my research, it looked like this would be the most viable option when planning a long distance road trip, because the Electrify Americas were at a lot of different Walmarts along the routes that most people would drive. So I go to pay and they don't accept credit cards, of course.
Okay, so I am leaving the Electrify America charger, and so I'm 0 for 2. I've tried to charge this car twice. Once at an EVgo, it didn't work. You saw that earlier, and now at this one. This one was intriguing because it said it would charge 350 kilowatts, so that's quite a bit. The level 2 charger would have only charged like, from what I read online, it would only charge about 4 kilowatts an hour, which is nothing.
So after going 0 for 2 on trying to get the vehicle charged, I thought, let's get out on the road and see what this baby can do. So as you can see, as I pulled out onto the service road, the acceleration was surprisingly quick. I was able to get up to speed quickly, which is something I needed to do in this area. And then once I got on the highway, I wanted to test the road noise. And at about 75 miles an hour, it was reading 75 decibels, which is about the same as my Model 3.
I did not realize that Tesla wasn't the first company to come up with one pedal driving. This Chevy Bolt has one pedal driving. If you don't know what that means, when I let off the gas, it brakes. And when I give it gas, it goes. So it uses regenerative braking, catching the kinetic energy of the vehicle to charge the battery while braking. It's a genius design. I'm sure most electrical vehicles are doing this, but I don't know if they all have one pedal driving. I hope to find out, because that's what I plan on doing on this channel, is driving electric cars and testing them like this. And I promise my reviews will get better. So the one pedal driving's been great. What's interesting about this vehicle is it has another brake, like a paddle brake. If you're used to paddle shifters on a vehicle, this has a paddle brake, which is very odd to me, but I guess I can see if you don't want to have to move your foot over to the actual brake, you would apply it, but it seems a little weird if I'm being honest. What would be nice is if the Bolt had a cruise motion option, and there's times where a coast option. There may be times where you don't want the regenerative braking to be as strong, so you just have it coast, and you can use this paddle brake to brake. So I just went over a railroad track, and wow, I'm impressed. The Bolt was really smooth. The vehicle feels really heavy. Even though it's a subcompact, it drives really well. And now it's not a sporty drive by any means, obviously. It drives like you would think it would when you look at it. It's just a nice run around town car, with the exception that it has crazy acceleration. I would refer to this probably as a sleeper. People don't realize that your car is as capable, and they may fall asleep and let you cut in. They won't try to cut you off like I find often in my Tesla. So let's talk about this vehicle. When I first got into it, I thought, there's no way I would ever dream of owning this vehicle. And I think I made a comment about it being ugly as sin. But what is odd is I went online and watched some YouTube videos on it and what other people had thought, and I came across a couple of guys, and I'm sorry I don't remember their names, or I'll drop it here, because what they said was pretty much spot on, that this vehicle around town is actually probably a little more preferred than the Tesla. But they were test driving a Model 3 versus a Bolt. Although I'm going to argue that that's not fair, because they're in two different categories in my opinion. The Model 3, even though the sticker prices are relatively close to the same for the 2021, the Model 3 is head and shoulders better than the Chevy Bolt. But where the Chevy Bolt stands out is the around town driving. And most noticeable after driving it for a while is the seating position. You sit way up high, almost like sitting in a minivan. It's been a while since I've owned a minivan, but that's kind of what it feels like. So your legs are really bent and your feet are on the floor, instead of more of that sports car mode where the feet are more straight or elongated while you drive. You know, the steering wheel is very comfortable. It's leather wrapped. I found out this morning that it's heated. When I came out from pre-conditioning the car, it was nice and warm. The seat heaters, they're not near as nice as the Teslas. They only seat your bottom. They don't seat the back. So there's a negative there. And let's be honest, I think I'm going to drop the comparisons between the Tesla Model 3 and the Bolt, because they're not the same vehicle, and again, they're not even in the same category, so it's really not fair to keep bringing it up. Of course the Bolt's going to fall short. The Bolt was never intended to compete against the Tesla, in my opinion. If it was, the Chevy engineers missed by a mile. But what the Chevy engineers have done is they've made a really easy drive around town vehicle that's electric. So my son, he got in the vehicle, and I thought, hey, let's see what a 17-year-old thinks about this car. Because the longer I drove it, the more I realized this could be the vehicle for him, because I don't know if you have any teenagers, but they like to go a lot of places, and they burn a lot of fuel, and it gets extremely expensive. So where the Chevy Bolt really stands out is the fuel mileage. The fact that my son can probably pay for this monthly lease just in the fuel savings alone makes this kind of a no-brainer for us. So even though I got this vehicle to do just a test drive and document it on YouTube, I may end up becoming a customer. As crazy as that sounds, because I never dreamed that I'd be driving a vehicle as ugly as this one. I guess technically I wouldn't be driving the vehicle. My son's going to be driving the vehicle. But the vehicle is not it's not going to win any awards for the way it looks, obviously. The sound system is pretty decent. I don't have any royalty-free music pulled up to play right now, or I'd play it for you. But honestly, on YouTube, it doesn't translate very well. So one of the things that's really hard to get used to looking at is the hard plastic in this vehicle. It leaves something to be desired, and I'm really not sure what Chevy was trying to do with this dash pattern, but it is not good at all. What I do like is the display, and I think with some more time I'll be able to figure out exactly what all it's capable of. One of the things that already intrigues me is something called a projection. So we'll see what that looks like. So earlier I put my son in the vehicle just to get a 17-year-old's perspective, and here's what he had to say, so enjoy. So what's your initial impression?
So far it's not too bad. It sits a little high. It reminds me a lot of the Volt features with the bigger dashboard though. I really do enjoy the view. It has not many blind spots.
Check this out.
Oh wow, that is pretty neat. That's really cool.
Now check this out also. You have it in you know how to put it in reverse. How user intuitive is it to put it in reverse? Let's see if we can figure it out.
Press side button.
Oh, you figured it out.
Pinch my finger.
Now look.
Really? So that's a 360 view?
Look how accurate the 360 view is though.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
How does it do that?
It pieces together all the other camera angles.
Very impressive.
That's been my favorite feature so far. That and the backup camera.
Definitely has a Chevy Bolt feel, but a little higher up. No doubt a little higher up.
Now he had a Volt, that's why he knows this.
This definitely has a lot more torque to it. No, but no doubt the response is very quick. The Volt compared to this was a lot more slow.
Get on it.
It's not bad at all. What are these?
It's volume, and then the left is a brake.
A brake?
Yeah, you pull in on it as you slow
I
down.
don't know if I like that. like right now, I should be applying it.
No. Regenerative braking should be applying it, but you could do more if you need it.
Really, that's cool.
You like that feature?
Not sure yet. Is there regenerative braking on this car?
Yeah.
But it's
You're not in low. Now.
There you go. Just confused. So if I like, oh yeah, can feel it.
Any other impressions so far?
Nothing really. I mean, it's a more simple car, but no doubt is a lot. It has a lot better quality than I would have expected. A lot better quality than I would have expected.
What were you expecting?
Cheap, very cheaply made.
It's stickers for almost the same as our Tesla.
About 36,000.
44.
This is 44,000.
The sticker.
I don't know if it's worth the sticker price.
Well, it's not. And then they're selling them for $18,000 off the sticker.
Okay.
So it's 36,000.
I would have guessed.
Or 26,000.
I was gonna guess about 22 to 23,000 for this car. Maybe even lower than that. Maybe in the teens. I mean, it's a good car. I think it's because of the features it has with it. But
so would a high school kid drive something
not
like
at
this?
all. Not at all.
Why?
Not meant for high schoolers. High school kids don't want to go slow. We don't want to, you know.
Why are you assuming you have to go slow?
I mean, it's a little Chevy. What is this called? A Bolt.
Bolt.
I mean, it is pretty neat.
At the stop sign, or at the red light, when we clear the red light, I want you to go 0 to 60.
Okay. It is pretty neat. I just don't know if a high school kid, if this is what interests them or what they'd ever want. I mean, as a high school student myself, I'd rather have something like a truck or something that is more versatile. But
What if you never had to worry about paying for gas again?
that is one plus. Definitely right now, since gas prices are a little high. But I mean, what's the range on it? 200?
259.
259? I mean, that's really not too bad at all.
All right, punch it.
I mean, that's pretty instant. It's not bad, the acceleration at all. Is it dual motor or single?
Single. Front wheel drive.
Front wheel drive? The steering's sensitive. Very sensitive. It has a lot more get up than I would have expected though. And are we in sport right now?
Yes.
We are in sport?
Yes.
So regular driving. Okay. Let's try regular driving. I do like how high I sit up.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Volt you kind of set down.
Oh, so low. So low. The Volt, your legs are more straight out. This feels almost like almost like my truck, a little bit lower seating. But no, you don't feel like you're tiny. It is a smaller car, but you don't feel like you're tiny compared to other vehicles. You have a lot of view.
Yeah.
A lot of view.
I still can't get over that. That's crazy.
I don't like it.
Why?
When I look at it, like my eyes like try to adjust it. I just don't like it at all.
I didn't either.
You look at it, your eyes just kind of.
I liked it when I was backing up, and that was it.
Yeah, I would never use that.
Backing up, you would.
Yes, but I like this better, the radio camera. So theoretically, I should never have to brake.
Yeah, it's just like my
Turn
car.
here?
Yeah, it's just like my car. One pedal driving. And if you overshoot it, you can just pull.
Yeah. I will say it is weird to have something like that right here. I don't think it's a good location.
I don't
You're trying to turn, you hit that brake on accident. I mean, it's a good car. A lot more get up than I would have expected, though.
That's the thing. They say these are sleepers.
Yes.
But people assume you're in a little dinky car that can't go fast, and you blow by them.
I mean, this is a lot more get up than I would
Punch it.
expect. I mean, it's nothing crazy. That was about 4 seconds to go from 40 to 70.
Well, it's not like the Tesla. So.
No. But for what you pay, I mean, it's still, I think it's a little overpriced personally, but the technology may counter that. I don't know what the technology is on this, how, like, all the statistics, what it has seat warmers, it doesn't or not, you know, so.
It does.
It does?
Has a heated steering wheel and heated seats.
I think $24,000 would be a good price for this car.
Okay, now what if I told you you could lease this car for $195 a month?
It's not bad.
So point of reference,
That's 24.
that's less than we were paying on your Bolt.
This is better than the Volt, 100%. The Volt got good gas mileage, and it was a small engine, 4-cylinder. I mean, all of it. Like, I got 70 miles a gallon roughly on a Volt, but the battery on the Volt, the pain of charging it also, like plugging in every night. It took 8 hours to charge a battery that only held 40, not even 40 miles.
40 miles.
And that's not worth it.
So as a point of reference, we're paying $575 for your truck a month. This is $195.
Yeah.
So it's $400 cheaper, and the fuel would be pretty much nothing.
Free.
Because we pay 11 cents a kilowatt, and you get 4 miles a kilowatt in this car, roughly. So it costs us about 11 cents every 4 miles. So how does it compare to the Model 3?
The Model 3, Model 3 is a little tight, I think. This car is a little bit more spacious in the back. I definitely can sit, relax, and somebody that's 6'4" could even sit back here and be totally fine, except for the head. Head clearance isn't too much, but I mean,
And how tall are you?
I am 5'8".
So what were you saying about how many can sit back there?
3 people can sit back here comfortably.
How's the middle feel?
Middle's not too bad at all. It's pretty
Is there a hump?
cushiony. There is a little bit, but not bad. It's not like some of the other cars I've been in. It's definitely really nice back here. A lot more spacious than I would expect, and it has cup holders. This thing comes out has 2 cup holders in it. I mean, it's not luxurious or anything, but it's something that you're going 2 hours in, but you wouldn't get uncomfortable.
Cool.
Now, what my son didn't realize, I was slowly planting the seed for him to end up driving this car, because even though I had no intentions of ever owning, buying, or leasing a Bolt, I actually have been convinced that this is probably the best vehicle for a teenager due to the amount of driving that they like to do. So I was subconsciously seeing if my son would be interested in driving this car permanently. And, you know, surprisingly, I thought, man, there's no way. But surprisingly, at the end of our test drive, he actually said, yeah, I think it makes economic sense for me to drive it. So if the local Chevy dealership can give me a decent trade-in value on my vehicle, a Tesla Model 3, yes, I'm actually thinking about trading my Tesla Model 3 for a Chevy Bolt. I've lost my ever-loving mind. But because of the nature of our family right now and what we're all driving and where we have to drive to, I could save about $600 a month if I gave this vehicle to my son, traded in my Tesla, and took his truck. $700 a month is a lot of money, and I could be putting that towards the Cybertruck that I have on order. If you can get past how ugly it is, then yeah, this is a no-brainer. But if you really care what a vehicle looks like, this might not be the car for you. But if you care what your pocketbook looks like, what your checking account looks like, this is definitely a no-brainer. Well, all right. Well, I appreciate you watching. If you've made it this far, that is a quick overview of the 2020 Bolt. Notice I said 2020. I didn't realize at the time of the recording that I was in a 2020 Bolt. But the good news is I actually bought a 2021 Bolt, and there will be a full detailed review on that coming up soon. So thanks again for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and hit that bell so to notify you next time that I am making a recording. So thanks again for watching CO2 Free. Have a good day.